Thank you, Bhagavatas, for attending today's session, and thank you, Swamy, for blessing us with this opportunity. Today is Sri Kuratarvan's Nakshatram, third Nakshatram, and it's a great opportunity to learn more about Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. We have a...
And I'm actually at Kuram right now.
Oh,
so I wish and pray for, on behalf of all of us, at the divine lotus feet of Swami Kuratarvan, to bestow all the divine wisdom as well as the respective practicing capability, that is Jnanam and Anushtanam, for one and all. And I also wish that we have good unity or the Aikya Bhava, and we strive hard to bring back the glory of, restore the glory of Sri Eramanusan Darshan, the Ramanuja Sampradaya.
Bhagyam, Swami. Such an auspicious beginning to our session. So thank you everybody for posting questions. Swami, so I will start talking about the different questions people have posted. But if people who have posted are here, if they want to raise the questions, please do raise it yourself. First question is from Srimati Shraddhanvi. Why did Perumal create other religions and not tell them who is actually supreme? And why should I memorize slokas?
See, first we need to understand what is religion. Religion is a particular knowledge level. A religion is actually a knowledge level. So you have to visualize it as a sequence of steps, a staircase. You have a staircase. On top of it, something is there. So at each and every level as you climb, right, there is something in, there are other people who are in that same step like you. That group is known as a religion. So religion is, every religion is actually one particular step. So if you actually see, there will always be something more in one religion than the other. It gets added. And then finally, when everything is complete, then you are on top of this staircase. And we, as per our faith, Sri Vaishnavas, we claim that we are the one who have the complete wisdom. Maybe others also claim like that. It doesn't matter. But we believe in that. That's our faith. So the rest of the religions, they have something missing. When I say missing, what is it? It is that, for example, one religion like Sankhya Shastra, it deals with Prakriti, it talks about Atma, but it doesn't talk about God. There is Charvaka, which doesn't even talk about even the Atma. We are just bodies. That is like your science, basically. So we don't call science as a different religion. It is a religion that is one short of something else. As and when you add more data, as and when you get more clarity, you are actually climbing up the ladder. So that religion, which can answer all of your questions, that is supposed to be the highest religion. When we say highest religion, we should not be, we should come out of the dogma. Mine is the biggest, mine is the greatest. It is not like that. This is the religion that can answer all your questions. That means we are at the highest level of wisdom. So ask me any questions. We are ready to answer. Let us put it in the right perspective. Let us practice it. Not simply preach and, just think that we are great and we are some highest and like that, which is what is resulting in the failure of such a great religion. A great religion like, there is no like, basically. Highest religion like Sri Vaishnavism, why it is not successful is because those who are following it, they are not putting it into practice. People like me who are a failure. So it is up to us to unite and work in an objective manner and get empowered with the wisdom that is readily available in such a religion by God's grace, and use it to transform ourselves and all the fellow beings. And respect, you have to remember one thing. If you are in a particular step, you have, say you are in the 5th step. When you look down at the first step, you should not laugh at the people who are at the first step. You have crossed that step. You have been there for some time. So if you are in Sri Vaishnavism, you have gone through all the other religions at different knowledge levels at some point in time in your journey. So don't criticize or mock at them. Respect them. You don't have to accept their philosophy. You don't have to agree with them, but you can respect. You don't have to criticize. If somebody comes and asks you some questions, you can clarify, give solutions. If they accept it, it's fine. But if they are purely dogmatic, not objective, not having a neutral standpoint, or not having the openness or maturity to take up your solution or your clarification, it's okay. It's okay. So Perumal did not simply create a religion so that people will go away from him. He has created something called as a religion to hold people at different knowledge level for some time, to understand that particular level. So in order to grow up, if there is no such concept called as religion, it will be a chaos. It helps you to have a grip. See, we all believe in God. I keep saying this, even in my Twitter, I had posted this. We say that Perumal is Sarvantaryami, he is present everywhere, omnipresent. He is Sarva Shakti, he is omnipotent. He is Sarvagya, he knows everything, he is omniscient. A person who knows everything. Why do you have to go and ask him anything? Why you go and crib that you have done something bad to me? He knows everything, right? He is Sarva Shakti. He can do anything, which means he can take care of you like anything. Why don't you leave everything and come? What will happen to my future? Who will give me food? Come on, be practical. It's not just throwing everything and going and falling at his feet. Nothing will happen. We keep telling all these things on one side and still say that he is omnipotent, he is omniscient, he is Sarva Shakti. Our Perumal is the greatest. What are you doing for that Perumal? No justice. Merely saying that Perumal is super, Perumal is great, Perumal took a lot of avatars, he is having Saulabhya, Shaushilya, fine. What are you doing about it? Right? So in order to have a grip in each and every level, without a grip, so you have to believe something. So at different levels, for example, Charvakas, they strongly believe that just enjoy life. There is nothing called as dharma. Do whatever you want. You are just a body. There is nothing called as soul. There is nothing called previous birth or next birth. There is nothing called as the hell or heaven. No liberation, nothing. Just enjoy this particular life. Do whatever you want. That is Charvaka. Believe only in Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha Pramana. Nothing else. What you see, you believe. What you don't see, you don't believe. You can't see Jupiter, don't believe Jupiter. As simple as that. But if there is something called as a religion like that, so somebody will delve into it, keep on, holding on to it for some time, then they will realize that something is missing here. If we can do whatever we want, why some people are suffering? Why some people are not suffering? I want to be very rich. Can I be born to a rich person? How do I get? What makes somebody to be born to a rich person? These kind of questions come. So then logically you start, once you start questioning, then there is next knowledge level waiting for you to answer. It holds you, picks you up, allows you to be there for some time, and it goes on and on and on. That's what it is. I hope I clarified the question in some reasonable way.
I'm not sure if the person who asked the question is here. Shraddhanvi is here. Hopefully it answered the question. Thank you so much.
There was a last phrase, I missed it. What was that in that question?
why should I memorize slokas?
You don't have to memorize slokas. But why should you memorize your school lessons as well? Because there are two phases in your life. At the younger age, you can memorize. At a later point in time, what you do is you do contemplation. You keep on reciting this, and then suddenly something strikes in your mind. But unless you have memorized, how will you keep on thinking about it? You are studying, simply memorizing something. Right? Sodium plus chlorine, it becomes sodium chloride. Why should I memorize this? Because at some point, you are going to think about sodium has one positive ion, chlorine has one negative ion, they bond together, and once they develop a bond, they become like this, and chlorine can be removed by another stronger ion, whatever it is. When you make it react with an alcohol or with an acid, what are the things that would happen? Or when you mix it in water, unless you memorize things now, you cannot proceed with knowing more about it. So today, you are asked to memorize all the slokas of Purvacharya, because at some point in time, you will start thinking, Yaya Vrittir Manasi Mamasa Jayatam Samsprituste. Oh, whatever I think, it should be only about, hey Varavaramuni, only about you, your greatness. That is what I should be thinking. Oh, this is what is the meaning, is it? What a wonderful phrase. Start getting revelations. If you don't memorize, at that age, you will be trying to only memorize. When you are supposed to contemplate, if you keep trying to memorize, neither your memories, you don't have memorizing capability. So you will be always a failure there. Because you have not memorized, you can never do Anusandhana. So anyway, it is a futile attempt. So you have to memorize at the right age. The age is up to 18 years. That's what they say. That is the time when you master the Vedas. Whether you know the meaning or not, first master it. Then you do Anusandhana. That is very, very important. Those who memorize, they don't do Anusandhana. For example, many people do Vedadhyana. They don't sit and contemplate. They use it for some Purohitam and make money. I'm not saying you should not make money, but you should also do Anusandhana. What does this mean? Why this phrase? What is this? Is it some language? Some papa, babha, kakka, gagga? No, it is not. It is giving a message for us. All our ancestors are not fools to have followed this for millions of years. Right? So, yes, memorize shlokas for now, because this is the right age, and for a later point in your life, when you can easily do Anusandhana. That is contemplation. Analyze, articulate, then start getting revelations out of that, or understanding of the meanings, esoteric meanings, inner meanings.
And yes, we have a question from Sri Saudi Rajan. Saudi Rajan, Swamy, you can ask the question directly. So Devrid can ask the question directly.
Not audible. You are not audible. I don't think I can hear.
Yeah, Swamy, sorry, Rajan, Swamy, we are not able to hear Devrid's voice.
Navin Swamy, நீங்க தேவரீர் படிச்சிருங்க அவர் question. அவரோட audio ஏதோ problem.
His question is, sorry, Rajan, Swamy's question is, how is our practice different from Bhakti Marga recommended for Kaliyuga?
How is our practice?
Why how is Sri Vaishnavism practice different from Bhakti Marga recommended for Kaliyuga?
Okay, first of all, what is Bhakti Marga? Ours is Bhakti Marga. We do Bhakti, Parabhakti, Parajnana, Parama Bhakti. Ours is actually the real Bhakti Marga. And by Bhakti, what we mean is the one that comes out of the Prapatti is what is the real Bhakti. Azhwargal, Bhakti Paravashyargal. Ours is the Bhakti Marga, real Bhakti Marga. Bhakti is not some emotional, dancing and singing and saying, I have a lot of love to God. That's not Bhakti. Bhakti is the thing that comes out of the highest wisdom. That is, when somebody attains wisdom, out of that wisdom, when you develop an attachment, that is known as real attachment to God. That is known as real love. A child loves the mother. Why? Because she is feeding and pampering and taking care. So it loves. Is it true love? Is it true love? That's not true love. The same child grows up when the mother is actually aged. When this same child is doing everything for that mother, that is true love. So many margas, they might appear as if, the kind of bhakti they show, the way they love God, the way they decorate God, wonderful, everything is fine. But when the foundation is not wisdom, it does not deliver. It becomes only a dogma, it becomes only an emotion, and it cannot transform people. It cannot transform people. So it is not merely the emotional quotient. It is also the intellectual quotient. So it is both the EQ and IQ combined together, which is the Parabhakti, Parajnana, Paramabhakti. When it comes, I know that Pitacha Rakshakasheshi, Bharta Agneyo Ramapatihi, Swamy Adharo Mamatmacha, Bhokta Chadyam Anuditaha. Oh, he is my Pita, he is my Rakshaka, he is my Seshi, he is my Shariri, he is my Adharam, he is my Swami, he is my Bhokta, he is my Bharta, he is my Nyaya. Knowing all the Navavida Sambandha, after knowing that you are everything for me, will I think about anybody else who are totally as long as you are walking, you will be respected. The day you lie down, they'll say, why this person is not leaving? He's giving such a torture to me. He's aged. Why he is not dying? No, what kind of pain it is. Shall we put him on old age home? Which one is the best? Which is cost effective? Which one will not create us trouble? What are the properties this person has? Under whose name it will go? How do we get it? What is the best time to transfer it in our name? As long as you are walking, they will try to suck as much as they want from you. Sucking the blood, basically. Like the leech, they suck your blood. That is what is the design. We don't want to blame them, but you don't have attachment, have responsibility. Be responsible. Do what is needed for them, but don't have attachment. Don't think that they will do anything and everything for you. No. The moment you are dead, in 10-15 minutes, you are known as body, and the same day you are burnt. Your body is burnt. 15th day or 16th day or 13th day, depending upon their varna and other things, they declare that this person is gone. All the theta gita, everything is over. Now you can have a feast, Shubham. Then you are given an attendance only once a year in a photo with a garland and few agarbatis. That's it. So knowing about such a temporal nature, such a self-centric nature of all these body mixed souls, the samsaris, and knowing about the Supreme, the reason why he has given this Atma, the ability known as Kartrutva and Bhoktrutva, that is the ability to act and the ability to experience, which is Nyatrutva, which is basically the wisdom. What do you do with that? You do wonderful things. What are the things that I have to do? Do what Perumal says, what God says. Not do something on your own, be a fool. Lose your Swatantriya and become a Paratantra. Do what he says. How do I know what he says? That is what is Shastras. Shruti Smritir Mamai Vagya. I am the one who has told you through Shastras. So do what I say. Shri Bhagavad Agnya Kainkaryam. In our Sankalpa, that's what we say. I am doing it as Bhagavad Agnya. He has told. I know what he wants from me. I am doing that. But when you do that, you don't think that you are doing it because you have been told to do it. So you are not actually the one who is the trigger for the act. You are only a mere doer. You are not the intent. You are merely an act or acting tool. So don't expect any result out of that. The result is determined by him. So do your duty. Don't expect the result. Whatever comes, you experience it. Simple. Right?
Yeah,
so why we are talking about all these things is this Bhakti Marga. When we say Bhakti, we have to understand that it is out of the highest level of understanding of who Perumal is, what we are, and what we should be. Once we understand we are the Paratantra for him, do whatever he says. That obedience is actually Bhakti. Bhakti is not merely love. I like him. The wife tells to the husband, I love you so much. Okay, I'm hungry. No, leave that part. I really love you so much. I'm really hungry. I'm going to starve and die. That's okay. Leave that part. I really love you so much. What is the use of this love? I'll give you garland. I'll give you, wonderful dress. I'll decorate you like anything. Without being obedient to a person, without having concern to a person, care to a person, understanding a person, what is this bhakti? That is emotional bhakti. That is just yet another form. You are frustrated with all these human beings, so you want a vent out, so you suddenly comes. That is the difference between God that exists versus God that has been conceived by us. These people, they conceive God, saying that I love him. I'm so attached to him. So who is he? I cannot explain. It is inexplicable. Why? It is there in Shastras. We know who he is. He has come and talked to us. He has told, why you want to conceive a God? We don't conceive God in our system. Sri Vaishnavism does not conceive God. We have faith in a God who already exists, who has talked to us, who is talking to us. So that is what is bhakti. Bhakti, when you do certain thing, Perumal has told, I will do it. I will do it with utmost sincerity, dedication, and with 100% obedience. Do exactly what I said, what Perumal said we have to do. Do it with utmost sincerity. That is, you have to Shraddha. Do it perfect. He has told, I have to do it, I'll do it. It's not like that. He has told, I will do it. That is what I am here for. That is what is real bhakti.
Sometimes,
that
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I'm sorry?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now you can hear me?
Yes.
See, I meant just, these Namas and Kirtan and all what we perform. There is sometimes something called the Prema Bhakti, which has been, this Krishna Baby, Swamy and all, they are all promoting. Krishna Chaitanya, he has promoted. He has advised. In Kaliyuga, since Dravyam and all, is polluted, so why don't you, look for this option like that they say? So what way do you advise to practice it or not?
We have to practice it, but not, you don't have to adapt another system. Our Azhwar Pasurangal, the Seva Kalam, all those things are actually Nama Sankirtanam. Thoilanakku Tollemal Tarnamamette.
Sometimes what happens?
It is embodiment of wisdom, love. It's all blended. The highest thing is Azhwar's Pasurams. So when you recite that, to begin with, you might not understand meaning. Keep on reciting and slowly start associating yourself with others and attend kalakshepams and all those things. Then every word that has come out of their beautiful mouth, it has come out of such a wonderful experience that they had with the Supreme. The dialogue, the exchange. It is awesome. It can only be experienced. And
That's
that is
true.
what is real Namasan Kirtan.
I don't disagree with that. But then
And
what
that is
happens? What happens in our regular routine when you say Nityanishtanam, Nityanusantanam, we have a set of things which has to be completely told. Is it not? Or you have certain process, this much itself is enough?
Not at all. கருவிருத்த குழி நீத்த பின் காம கடுங்குழி வீழ்ந்து ஒரு விருத்தம் புக்கு உழல் உருவீர் உயிரின் பொருள்கட்கு ஒரு விருத்தம் புகுதாமல் குறுகையோர்கோன் உரைத்த திருவிருத்தத்து ஓரடி கற்று இrir திருநாட்டகத்தே. All that they are saying is, you just learn one line of திருவிருத்தம், you will be in moksha. One line of திருவிருத்தம், you will be in moksha. If you know the meaning of just one line, திருவிருத்தத்து ஓரடி கற்று இrir திருநாட்டகத்தே. If you can understand that one line of திருவிருத்தம், you are already in moksha. It is so much impregnated with the wisdom. That is why it is not something. See, there is a difference between knowledge and wisdom. We call it as buddhi and jnana. If I am trying to explain something to you, if you can understand, that is knowledge. If you don't understand, I try to explain it in different ways with examples and other things. And still, after many attempts, you understand. It is still known as knowledge. Then what is wisdom? That is jnana, something which, how much ever I tell, you can never understand. That is jnana. Then how do I acquire it? The person who is having the jnana, if he wants to give, he should also grace you, give you the ability to understand. It is not making you understand. It is giving you even the ability to understand. So jnana is something that comes with anugraha. So this entire Azhwar parampara or our Acharya parampara is Bhagavat Prasada Jnana Labdha parampara. You should not be sitting and trying to understand the meaning of the words. You should say, Azhwar, you have experienced it. You are the jnani. I just fall at your feet. It is, unless you give this jnanam, I don't think I can understand this. Just surrendering to them. And once you get that grace, that's it. To get that grace, what do you have to do? Do you have to completely finish something? Then why they are asking us to finish something? See, that is for the beginners. That is for the beginners. At the highest level, what do they say? Silence. Silence is the best way of communicating. Why? It is called a subtle communication. You exchange only through your anugraha. Deliver jnana through anugraha, not by telling and hearing. Mere presence of such a yatra ashtakshara samsiddho mahabhago mahiyate tatra na sancharisyanti vyadi durbhiksha taskaraha. Mere presence of such divine souls will transform everybody around. You don't have to sit and learn and do. And then why they are asking us? Because we are not at that level. To begin with, you need some kind of discipline. So they say that you keep on chanting this. You have to finish all these things. You have to do aradhana. You have to do this. You have to do that. After some point, you will realize that just thinking of God is aradhana. Kushum shanti ennenjame. But you cannot think of God incessantly. That is where the problem is. For which you have a lot of hurdles, vigna. You have to overcome that. Pratikulya. You have to get nivritti out of that. So for which there are other basic things that needs to be practiced. You have to wear uniform. You have to take the notes and books and everything to the school. Once you go to college, you don't need uniform. You are at your will. Once you go to job, that's it. It's an entirely different ballgame. So it is for different levels. We have to do self-appraisal. Where are we? Do we have control, discipline? We don't have. Let us do it completely. We have to do this Nityanusandhanam. We have to recite all those things that have been. Unfortunately, without doing this kind of appraisal, simply sorting out to, it is okay if I sing some bhajan. That is not fair. It just doesn't make sense. It is a diversion. That is not a logical way to help you grow. That is only an entertainment. Will it give result? Yes, it will give result, but feeble. When you logically grow in this ladder, in this practice, our system of practice is beautiful, wonderful. It's Vaidika system. It is a progressive system of school, thoughts, education, progressive system of education. You first learn something, just hold on to it. Once you start drilling inside that, you will start getting more questions.
Again.
So you start following this particular steps, Anushtana. You gain Nyana, you do the respective Anushtana. Once you start doing that Anushtana, you will start getting more questions. That will result to the next level of Nyana. That level you start practicing. There is an Anushtana. Then it will reveal the next level. So it takes you up. Just diverting that, and you know what? Nama Sankirtanam is more than sufficient. Nama Sankirtanam is sufficient provided you can fully do it in a dedicated fashion. Not just some part-time. I'll do Nama Sankirtanam there. I will come and shout at everybody here. How does it work? Again, I will do go on Nama Sankirtanam. Again, I will come and shout. Whereas our system says, first you control your anger. How do I control my anger? Then there is a problem with your food. Satvika ahara, Satvika chintana, Satvika sangha, Satvika devata vandana. Sopanam. There are steps. Follow this in a sequential manner. Answer everybody's question. Help them to understand at what level they are and help them to go to the next logical step. Don't say leave everything, surrender, come to God. Somebody is very hungry, he is about to die. Don't worry, before dying, I will just chant Dvayam in your ears. You will go to moksha. He will curse you. Give him food first. Let him eat. Let him get some health. Then ask him, what do you want to do? Do you want to die like this? No. Then what do you want? You want to do some job? I have some job for you. Work for me. Let him work for some time. Then what is your goal in life? Do you know why we are suffering like this? Gradually help him to grow, and then at a particular time you say, you know what? Now you understand that this is what is world. It is samsara. It is temporary. Don't have attachment. It doesn't make sense. Our job is not to just keep on reproducing like pigs and rats. Eat and fight like dogs and donkeys. We should do something different. Something great. Help people to grow in a logical fashion, step by step. At the highest level, somebody doesn't have to teach you to dance. Nobody has to teach you to sing. What you speak. Maran Peshina Sul Pesa. Azhwar only talked. When he talked, it became Veda. It became Sama Veda. It became the highest Uyar Veda. But what Azhwar did was just talk. He just talked. Look at the level of those saints. Solluma vidu surudiyam. Right? So, this is a very clear and very organized system. That is why it has survived. See, till date, Sri Vaishnavas are able to recite this wonderful Divya Prabandham in front of Perumal's procession. Organize this Adhyayana Utsavam in every temple. And be proud to wear this kind of Urdhva Pundra. And Sri Vaishnavas have never ever tortured or invaded or harmed any other religious people any time in the history. We have been tortured. We have been murdered, brutally hurt, destroyed. Despite all that, we have again resurrected. We have survived everything. Why? You know the answer. We have the Supreme with us. It's just that we have to have the faith.
Dasan.
Swamy, can we go have one more question, Swamy?
Sure.
This is a question from Sri Krishnan. There are multiple parts to this question, Swamy. In Itihasas and Puranas, they mention Surya speaks to someone, Indra speaks to someone, etc. How to imagine this in reality when we see Surya as the current sun? For example, how did Hanuman learn from the sun? How did Ikshvaku come from the lineage of sun? How did sun give birth to humans? That is the first question. The second question is, where is Raja Nadi and Vaikundam? How to imagine these and Perumal in human form at Vaikundam while living in this world?
See, certain things, I keep telling the same thing. I am blind. Somebody says, I will go to that hill and come back. I'm asking, what is a hill? No matter how much you explain, I cannot understand. Certain things you have to experience. Number one. Number two, look at this. They say corona. I am affected by corona. If somebody says I am affected by corona, then you ask, where is corona? No, it is there inside. It is very small. You need a certain tool called as electron microscope to see that particular virus, right? So you need a tool to see that. Similarly, to see those devatas, you need a tool called as tapas, penance. That's the methodology. That's the instrument. You have to do penance in order to open up your inner eye. Once that inner eye opens, you can see that. No matter how much people say you cannot see corona or any bacteria, but you are able to see that corona is some disease is torturing you and nobody is able to cure you, and it has spread to everybody also. So similarly, when we say sun god, there is somebody called as Abhimani Devata, which is there inside. That Devata is the inner controller. Bhumi, there is Bhuma Devi, that is the inner controller. If you want to see that and if you want to talk to that, you need tapas. In those days, they did tapas. Unfortunately, Kaliyuga's mandate is you cannot do tapas. Only by grace you can get it. You cannot get it by tapas. In Kali, you cannot do tapas. Even if you go and sit and meditate, see, look at today's environment. Can you go to any forest where you can sit and meditate? You will be given a penalty of 50,000 rupees or some 3 months of prison for violating forest rules. Going and sitting there, think that you have come there to, smuggle sandal or kill a deer or a tiger which is endangered, and they will put you behind the bars. Still, some people do it. I'm just saying, it's not so common as it was in those days. The kind of ahara niyama that they followed, the day-to-day yoga practices that they had. Today, what they call as yoga is this Western yoga or this so-called neo yoga is a mockery. It's a comedy. It's not yoga at all. Where is yama? Where is niyama? Where is pratyahara? Asana and all those things. Simply bending and, this posture known as asana. That's not what is asana. Asana is, every posture can be called as asana then. Asanas are those which can actually activate your chakras, which can activate your nadis. Medha, there is one nadi. Mukula Padmam, there is one nadi. Those things can be activated with the yoga asanas. Provided you already follow yama niyama. What should you do, what you should not do. In terms of your food, in terms of your thought, in terms of your environment. The scope is very, very less for penance. Celibacy has to be there, brahmacharya. With all these things as the instruments and this as the methodology, yes, you can see those sun god, you can talk to them, you can have dialogue, you can go to those worlds. That is how those rishis and all Brigu did the sancharam all over this world. It is possible. It is very much possible. It is very
Swamy,
much
the
possible.
second part of the question, Swamy, where is Raja Nadi and Vaikundam? How to imagine these and Perumal in human form at Vaikundam while living in this world? This is the
Why
same
do you
answer.
want
Like,
to, yeah, why do you want to imagine it when you have an opportunity to experience it? See, I say that I am blind. Help me imagine how a mountain looks like. I am saying I will give you the eye, you can see it. No, 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 no. I want to imagine mountain. I want to have a feel of it. Help me means it just doesn't make sense. I am giving you the eye. With the eye, you will be able to see it, experience it. So when we are being given shown the path of moksha, go for it. Then you will experience it. Why do you want to sit and imagine here itself?
Swamy, do you have time for one more question, Swamy? Swamy, you have time for one more question?
Yeah, one more question. That's it.
Okay. What is basic Anushtanam for Sri Vaishnavas across different Varnas? What is the crystal clear approach for them, Adiyan?
Panchakalika karma. You have to go and study what is Panchakalika karma because it's a big thing. Vaishnavas across all Varnas, what they have to follow is Panchakalika karma. That's it. Abhigamana, Upadana, Ijja, Swadhyaya, Yoga. These are the 5 things that they have to follow across all Varnas. It is in Sri Pancharatra Bhagavad Shastra. You have to spend time to learn it. I cannot say it in few words in this Q&A, but the answer is Panchakalika karma. Across all Varnas.
Swamy, or one? Srimati Ramanujaya Namah, Srimati Varavara Muni Namah.